Moving further, the civil society organizations have urged the oil exploration companies onto environmental safety and also companies related with oil and petroleum. Following the signing of the final investment decision by the oil partners, the civil society coalition on oil and gas urges that the exploration companies to stick on the establishment of the environmental capacity to cater for its safety. The coalition urges that the value partners or venture partners should endeavor that the protection of the environment by use of the most modern technologies during the petrol production.
Following the signing of the final investment decision by the oil venture partners, the Civil Society Coalition on Oil and Gas urges all oil exploration companies to stick to the established environmental standards during the production of oil and gas. The coalition urges that the venture partners should endeavor to protect the environment by use of the most modern technologies during production. The coordinator of the coalition, James Muhindo, says the partners should use the 30-year grace period to build modern technologies used in oil exploration. A signing of the financial investment decision is that planning stage for capital-intensive projects when decisions to make major financial commitments is taken. Muhindo says such commitments should also include key environment protection guarantees, safety of communities and nature. He adds that the venture partners should stick and implement the recommendations made by the National Environment Management Authority to Impact Assessment Report.
The first step shall be making sure that they stick to all the conditions and the requirements that NEMA approved so that they can avoid destroying the environment. The second is to be open to new technologies and any other inventions that may happen over time that would help to reduce the environmental impact of the project on people and nature, so that as we go along, if there are technologies that were not in existence at the point of approving the environment and social impact assessment report, these should also be integrated by companies. And finally, they should allow third-party monitoring, especially by actors.
Diana Taremwa, the extractives officer at the Water Governance Institute, says that oil companies have developed the project quite much and demands that all developments should adhere to the government policy and translates into visible changes to the lives of the communities.
We shall continue doing our work. We shall continue to push for the sustainable exploitation of Uganda's oil and gas resources. And also, we shall continue pushing for the promotion and protection of the rights of the oil host communities as well as communities affected by other oil projects. To shed a bit of light on the issue of the oil spill contingency plan, we've had some engagements with PAO, and like James said, it is ready, but we've been advising them to conduct mock exercises so that they are better prepared in case of a spill.
Muhindo says the coalition is optimistic that once the revenue collected transparently, it will lighten the taxi burden to every Ugandan and improve service delivery. However, the coalition demands the government establish a tribunal to settle disputes between the communities and the oil companies to have an equitable and fair ground for all.
Continued delay of the payment of this amount, it actually loses a lot of value. And as we have seen in some of the projects like the refinery, where people were valued in 2012 and paid in 2017 and were not given a value for the delayed compensation. We think that that is really very unfortunate. So
the announcement of the final investment decision ends a wave of negotiations between the governments of Uganda and Tanzania, as well as the oil companies and the two governments. In total, the oil project's investments are expected to total up to 10 to 15 billion US dollars, with at least 4.2 billion of the expenses going to Ugandans and the Ugandan companies, according to projections in the contract frameworks.